Hi, Rahul. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, we have Rahul Agarwal, who's the founder and CEO of Organic Harvest.
Thanks, Pooja. Thanks for having me here.
So, Rahul, I'll jump on to the questions which we've all been discussing, which is कि कैसे ship को डूबने से रोकना है? And what are some of the things that you might have implemented in your company, which maybe others can learn from or pick up, or even just know that we are equally in damage?
So I think the mantra for specifically, if the question is for the startups, the mantra should be to reduce down the fixed costs as far as possible and shift to the variable ones. Uh, I think the whole episode of coronavirus, it's a blessing in disguise for especially the startup fraternity, and it will help us in keeping ourselves more disciplined. So when we are into a startup journey, we sometimes tend to take the eyes off from the cost side of the P&L, but this episode will push us to shift from the fixed cost to the variable ones, which will in the longer run benefit the organization only.
Right.
So if you ask me, I have personally tried to reduce down the fixed cost to the extent possible, and the impact is going to last maybe 2-3 months, but my organization will be there for more than 100 years. So the decisions which I'm taking right now will be impacting and will be beneficial for the organization in the longer run.
Right. So, Rahul, how have you handled all the layoffs and salary cuts, if any, and the communication around that with the team or the entire management of the same?
We haven't done the layoffs or the salary cut as of now. We have been lucky enough to keep the ship going without much pain till now. But the one thing which we have done very apparently and very transparently is that we have been very honest with the team uh, all across the channel. We have almost 700 people working with us now. We have been very honest with them, telling them on an everyday basis what's going on within the organization and outside as well. So till now there haven't been any painful decisions taken as yet, but if this thing lasts for longer than expected time, then we will have to take a call then as well. So
Right.
going good till now. Let's see how it goes.
Right. And Rahul, in this entire thing, what is that one or two silver lining in the dark cloud, so to say, for cash rich or cashless companies, both?
Sometimes it's good to be cashless, because as I said earlier in the discussion as well, that it will make us more disciplined in the longer run. So being cash rich is not a good thing to be in, or it's not a good position to be in. All I mean, sometimes it's good to be running around and collecting the cash always in the business. I would say having less cash in the business makes you identify bigger opportunities in the longer run, which we have also done. So cut down some fixed expenses, shift to variable ones, cut down the non-meaningful expenses as well.
And Rahul, which are some of these expenses that you're able to cut, which are not employee expenses, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So in our business, there are a lot of fixed expenses which we incur at the retail outlet level, which we pay to the retailer in order for him to give us space there at the retail shop. So that's the fixed rental that we used to pay to the retailer. Now we are trying to convert it to on a variable basis, so wherein whatever the sale from a retail outlet is, we'll pay him on the basis of that rather than paying the fixed rental. That's the classic example that I can give, and I think almost 30% of our total expenses accounts for that. So if we have been able to cut down it to maybe 15%, so it's a huge saving. But and as I said, after this, the impact of coronavirus is over. This is going to add straight to my bottom line.
Absolutely. So Rahul, has your team, you mentioned it's a 700 member function now. Have you adopted any monitoring, tracking, or time sharing or task sharing tools in this time while they are working from home?
Some of them, yes. The digital team, the e-commerce team, and the IT team, we have been able to do that. But since most of the team members are hardcore retail sales team, so unfortunately, they don't have much to do while sitting at home.
That's actually good that no layoffs, no salary cuts, people sitting at home still getting salaries, no tracking, no monitoring. I'm like, I want that job. Good,
But
good.
I'm waiting for this lockdown to be open. I'm going to make them work twice as hard as they were doing.
Right, right. So, Rahul, do you think the
Yeah.
lockdown is getting over on April 14th, 15th? I mean, I know it's $1 million question, but just to get your perspective.
Yeah. It's not going to be one day open all kind of thing. It will be gradual, and my sense is that it will take around 60 days from here to get everything normal back on
Right,
track.
right, right. And while we're working in this work from home scenario where a lot of meetings which we otherwise thought that it's important, so we should go and meet, which also we're now doing online. Do you think a lot
Yeah.
of this work culture will change and it will adopt the time that is saved on travel, the cost saved on travel, and everything else that goes with it? Do
And
you
the
think that
carbon footprint as well. And the
carbon
carbon footprint
footprint
as
as
well.
well? Correct, correct, correct. Sustainability levels are going to another level now.
Yeah.
Do you think
So
it will get permanent?
I was of that school of thought that no such thing called work from home. Even I have been forced to change my thought process now. So yes, some of the jobs can easily be managed while working from home. We all are working in a digital world where everything is transparent, everything can be tracked and monitored. So yes, some jobs can be shifted online and can be easily and more efficiently be done from home.
Mm. Right, right, right. Good, good, good. And one
Yeah.
example I know, I saw it on social media, Rahul, where you now pivoting into, let's say, sanitizer manufacturing. That was one very good example for a lot of us also. Like at Whisskers, we are also trying some of these other newer things that we can deliver during the lockdown period. What are some of the other possibilities for other startups that they can look at in these times?
Depending on the industry and the vertical that you are in, like I'll take I learned from you today itself. So any digital company can pivot into online learning, making the virtual classrooms for the schools or the tuition centers or the coaching centers. The companies like us, the consumer facing companies, can pivot into the masks and the hand sanitizers. So depending on the industry to industry, there are a lot of opportunities. When there is a challenge, there is an opportunity as well.
Hmm.
It's just that you have to keep your eyes, ears, and nose open and smell it and jump onto it. For a founder of startup, there is no job description, so you have to keep identifying the new opportunity and keep jumping onto it. Like hand sanitizer, I'll give you an example for hand sanitizer. I can give you my industry example. So it used to be a less than 100 crore market. Our belief is even this once this corona thing goes off, this is going to be at least 500 crore market to start with, and then it will build on from there.
Hmm.
So there will be new opportunities once these things open up. We have to keep our eyes open and see what fits well within the ethos of the organization.
Right, absolutely. And Rahul, so once the lockdown gets over, which could be mid-April or maybe mid-May, we don't know, what is the first thing that you're going to do after that?
I am going to see all my office mates. Yeah, I'm really desperately missing them.
Wow, good, good,
Yeah.
good to know. And any last thoughts to all other startups and founders who might be watching right now?
Yeah, so I think this challenge is taking a toll on every one of us, be it physical, emotional, and mental. And so it's very necessary at this stage of this challenge that we, being the founders of the organization, we have to keep our head still. And as I said earlier as well, if there's a challenge, there are opportunities out there. Also, you need to identify them and start working towards them. You may not be able to crack all of them now, but once the situation becomes normal, there will be immense opportunities to crack them. So depending on your attitude, if you want to go grab them, and you should go for it.
Great, great. Good, Rahul. Thank you so much for your time. It's very meaningful to know that there are others also relatively much bigger businesses like yours, which are also
Yeah.
fighting it off very well. Thank you so much for sharing details with us.
Thanks, Pooja. Thanks for having me. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.